Do you remember when everyone was obsessed with fidget spinners? It didn't even make sense. People were claiming they had ADHD to justify a fidgeting session at school. Holy 120 million views for fidget spinners, man. My goodness. I think it's time to swap. I think it's time to swap content, bro. This is insane. Or just classic one. So if you don't remember, you're way too old to remember, or you weren't born yet. Those were the golden days. It was like one of those global brain rot trend that happened throughout the world. It was weird. But if you don't remember, well, Albion is here to remind you with its very own entry to Fidget Spinner, the Phantom TwinBlade. Welcome to Weapon Review, where I judge weapons using my biased standards. So for this episode, we're gonna be talking about the Phantom TwinBlade. It is the crystal weapon of the Quarterstaff line, and in my opinion, it hits the hardest out of them all. Its E has three stages. First, you throw your spinning blade, and then you throw another spinning blade. And when the fancy tricks fail, you just bonk them with the old-fashioned way. When the sophistication doesn't work, we resort to our instinct of just bonking people with what we have. Just like those monkeys, you give a monkey a stick, and all they could do is just like bonk each other. Yeah, just like that. So when you do the third part, it creates a cool mirror effect of your weapon, sandwiching the enemies, sending your opponents up in the sky, like those videos of little people flying off because a normal sized guys jump on a balloon castle or something. Here's a clip. For the build, I used Mercenary Jacket, Cultist Cowl, and Sandals. I swapped between Smuggler's Cape and Ava Cape. Both work very well. There are lots of variation you can use with this weapon. There's a lot of build you can play it with. But I just chose this build because it is very balanced. It can both sustain and actually deal enough damage as well. And could actually fight a longer battle. I played with the Q2 Whirling Strike. And if you notice, Whirling Strike, Quarterstaff actually loves to spin. Yeah. They have dreamed to be Beyblade or something. And W2 stun run. In this way, I can deal damage close range and I can chase and reset with my mobility. The second Q also complements the Mercenary Jacket very well. Because if you hit your Q2, you will have 3 ticks of damage. Meaning you get the effect of the healing 3 times faster using the Merc Jacket. So what I did was I brawl with my Q, kite with my W, and deal damage to the enemies while they are chasing or running using my E. And then I use my Mercenary Jacket, stun the enemies, hit a Q, and some basic attack, and I use up all the stacks to heal up. The Cultist Cowl is used to deal extra damage during the brawl, or actually to prevent enemies from doing anything. So that's how I use this build, and that's my skill rotation look like, and it actually worked pretty well. So for its PvE and PvP viability, let's start with the PvE. PvE wise, the damage dealt by Q2 or Whirling Strike, along with an AoE E, makes it a very solid PvP weapon. You can aggro a lot of mobs and just do a one and done combo on them. It will clear Abby very fast and very easily to add to that. If you want to focus on PvE, you can change the W to Gale Dance, which makes clearing camps, abbeys, or groups of mobs very easy, but at the expense of your mobility and catch ability. PvE wise, I'll give this a solid score of 4.096. With a proper sustain, this could easily be a 5. For the PvP, it is one of the best quarterstaff for solo PvP or even for a small scale PvP that I have played along with normal quarterstaff and double-bladed staff. It has the most damage out of all quarterstaff, and the E is a range attack, which means you can use it while running or chasing the enemies. And the knock up of the E is also a good tool to interrupt spell casting or channeling abilities, but it lacks the mobility that the normal quarterstaff and double-bladed staff have, especially in mists right now where mobility is king because it's like the Middle Ages out there. There are ruts everywhere. They're causing the Black Plague. That makes this a less attractive option to play in the mists. The E could also be easily reflected and it is not cancelable, so you'll be forced to eat the reflect. Also, the price of this weapon is, like any other crystal weapon, way more overpriced than it should be. And then it's like those bathwaters trimmer sells, right? Too expensive. Like $40 for one? Are you kidding? With that being said, it is a very solid weapon with a good damage output and a moderate versatility, but considering the lack of mobility compared to other options and expensive price tag, I would rate this one an honest and a solid 3.024. And that's for PvP. It's just way too expensive and it's not that much better than the alternatives, really. So for the next part of this video, I'll be showing you a fight that I had. It's not a perfect fight, but it's a good fight. So before that, if you are enjoying the video, please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell since I'll be producing more content. Thank you so much for the support. So let's start. So I'm up against a Proling right here, an 8.1 Proling. I'm a 6.3 Phantom TwinBlade. So as you see, I've used the Cultist Cowl as a way to actually deny the opponent to do anything. Because once they are affected by the Cultist Cowl, they will get damage if they basic attack, do a skill or anything. So I stand the enemy, sprinted so that I'll create some distance because I cannot win if I brawl. Use my potions because I don't want to be super low when fighting this brawling because it could easily execute me. So I'm using my potion right here. I'll double pot. I use E, double E. Look at the damage. It's a very good damage. As you notice, I pop my Merc Jacket and then stun the enemy. And then use my Q and look at my HP rise up so quickly. So that's how you use the Mercenary Jacket in this build. So, as you've noticed, when he turned into a Panther, I use my Cultist Cowl. And the reason for that is that if you are in Panther form and you're using Proling, you take more damage. So that's why. Yeah, that's it. That's the reason why he uses Cultist Cowl, he pop his Undead Cape. I'm just basically just waiting for him. This is a close fight, I think. Yeah, not really close. I double E, use my triple E as well. That was a bad move. Doubling the E doesn't really stack the damage, I think. But I was kind of in a panic and, had to do it. So that's it for the fight. It's a good weapon. You utilize it well. And there's a lot of potential plays you could play with it. So, yeah, it's an awesome weapon. And the reason that he lost is either I was that good, which I don't think that's the case. I think he was just not that good to begin with. So look for that type of enemies. To wrap this all up, I just want to say that this weapon is a very cool weapon. It looks cool and it does good damage, really. But compared to a much more PvP oriented weapon, not just talking Quarterstaff, it doesn't really sums up to one to be able to be called one of the best PvP weapon out there. But still, PvE wise, it has great AoE damage, solid clears. It could sustain if you're using a lifesteal food or a mercenary jacket. I rated this one a 4.096. For PvP, it has good burst. The knockup is a solid way to actually deal with casting and channeling opponents. But it lacks the mobility and it just costs too much. So I rated this one 3.024. Overall, I give the weapon as a whole a solid 3.469. It does well on PvP and PvE, but the price just makes it not worth it. But if you do enjoy this weapon, it is adaptable and very versatile as well. You can play aggressively or you can kite with it. It looks cool. So overall, the Phantom TwinBlade is a stylish, high damage weapon that's great in theory, but unless you're rich or you are an heir of an economy guild, it's more of a flex than a must buy. So if you are not a handsome poor shit like me, and you don't mind spending extra, I could say that this weapon is a solid choice. It is fun to use, it is easy to use, it is not that hard to learn actually, and it works with a lot of build. Also, it reminds you of a fidget spinner, which is a bonus, and unlocking your inner ADHD. It's like fidgeting in Albion. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you have a weapon you want to be reviewed, comment down below. I do enjoy making these videos, and yeah, I'll see you soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe. and hit the notification bell. We're continually growing as well, and it's all thanks to you. I do appreciate you guys. And that's it for this video. I hope you have a great day.